Good morning. I need you to think about something with me today. Have you ever done everything right, put in the hours, and showed up when nobody else would have done it, and it still wasn't enough? Not because you didn't work hard enough or you weren't smart enough, but because just the results did never come. And you tried again and again and again. And every time you came up short, you gripped a little bit tighter. You tried a little bit harder. You told yourself the secret was, I need to work a little bit harder. I need to be a little bit better. And I need to try a little bit longer for the results to come. I spent a long time living like that. And I think you watching this, you spent a long time doing this as well. This is a video about Lionel Messi, but it's also a question that might change how you see everything that you chase right now. Because Messi did something at 35, which most men never figure out. He stopped gripping, and the thing he wanted the most walked right to him without him having to put in any more effort than before. Stay with me because this one goes deeper than you think. Okay, to understand what happened to Messi when he was 35, you have to go back to the times where he was 11 years old. Messi was diagnosed with a growth hormone deficiency as a kid. His body literally couldn't grow on his own. The treatment cost was $1,500 a month, and his family couldn't pay that. Neither could any of the football clubs around. But there was one football club who was willing to take the risk of taking Messi, bringing him to Barcelona, Spain, and giving him the treatment if he signs the contract and plays for Barcelona. So at 13 years old, Messi moved from Rosario, Argentina, to Barcelona, Spain, where he knew nobody, at 13 years of age. His dad came with him. His mom and his sibling stayed behind in Argentina. A small little kid that was sick in a foreign country, trying to chase his dreams. He grew centimeter by centimeter each day in Barcelona, and he trained every day at La Masia in Barcelona. Think about what that does to someone at 13 years of age. You carry the weight of being an investment, not only for the football club, but also for your whole family. Because if he doesn't make it, what was all of this for? Why did they move to Spain? Why did they left their family behind? Why? If he doesn't make it, why? And this is where this gets real. Because unlike Ronaldo, who turned this pressure into hunger, intensity, and anger, he took it and he went quiet. He became the quiet kid. He stayed with it himself. He never shared it. He kept it. He just worked patiently, silently. He waited for his chance. And that patience, that silence, that defined his whole career, for better or for worse. Now let's talk about what happens when patience meets a wall it can't get past. Between 2007 and 2016, Messi played 4 major international finals with Argentina, and he lost every single one of them. 2007 Copa America, 2013 the World Cup, 2015 and 16 again Copa America. Every single one of them he lost. Let me zoom in on 2 of those because they matter. 2014 World Cup, Messi played brilliant. He won the Golden Boot. He carried his team to the final. He even won the Ballon d'Or. Argentina versus Germany in the final. And in this final game, Messi went quiet and Germany won 0-1 through an amazing goal from Mario Götze. They gave him the trophy for the best player, and he stood on that podium and stared at that trophy like it was an insult to him. Because this individual trophy meant nothing to him, when the trophy for winning the World Cup was sitting on the other side with Germany. And this is the part that nobody talks about. After the 2010 World Cup, when Argentina got destroyed 4-0 in the quarterfinals by Germany, Maradona said that he found Messi crying in the shower after the game. While his teammates were already booking flights to get back, he was still sad about the loss and he was crying about it all alone. That tells you everything about how much this meant to him. This wasn't a career goal, this wasn't just a goal, this was his identity. Winning it for Argentina. Winning it for his home country was the thing that made him whole. Winning the World Cup for his home country would have been the thing that would have made it all worth the injections, moving to Spain, all the hard times. That was the end goal. And then Copa America 2016, another final for Argentina with Messi. Messi steps up to take the penalty and he misses. Argentina loses another Copa de America final. He walks off the pitch, sits on the bench and cries. Then he told the reporters the following, and I want you to really hear this. He said, "For me the national team is over. I've did all I could have done. For me this part of my career is over. Just sit with this for 1 second. I have done all I can. Forget about football for a moment. This is a man admitting defeat, a man saying, I've done all I could and I'm still not good enough. The greatest player alive, publicly admitting defeat. Not tactical defeat, something way, way deeper than that. The kind where you look at yourself and you think, maybe I was just not born for this. Maybe I was not born to achieve this goal. And this is where it connects to you. Because I know some of you watching this have been in that exact place. Maybe not on a football pitch, but in your career, in your life. Wherever you have been putting everything into it and getting nothing back. That moment where you think, what even is the point? I have done everything right and it still does not work. Messi hit that wall at the age of 29, and what he did next is the exact reason I am recording this video right now. Just 2 months after retirement, Messi came back to the national team. But something was different. And I don't mean he trained harder or was more focused or more disciplined. I mean, something inside of him shifted. He stopped playing to prove something to his country. He played because he loved the sport. He loved the game. The shirt, his teammates, the game itself became the reason he was playing it. Not a trophy, not the validation, not to silence the critics who told him that he will never win it for Argentina. Now I want you to be careful here, because this can sound like some vogue, let everything go and it be alright advice, but it's not. I'm not going there because Messi didn't stop caring about the result. What he did was he stopped attaching his self-worth to the outcome. There's a massive difference between these two things. Before that shift, Messi played with this invisible weight on his chest. The weight of every Argentine kid expected him to be the next Maradona and win it for Argentina. The weight of 4 lost finals. The weight of a kid leaving home at 13 years of age. After he made that switch, he played like a guy who already made peace with the worst case scenario. He already quit. He already lost. He had already hit rock bottom. When you have been to the bottom and you have came back up, not because you wanted to prove something, but because you loved the sport, that changes how you move. Think about what that actually means for your own life. Because most of us go through life white-knuckling our way through, thinking we need to prove something to other people, and we are not in this messy flow state he had after the shift. We are terrified that if we stop gripping, even just for a second, that we lose control over the output. Not only the output, but over everything we have built in the past years. Messi tried that for a long, long time, and it got him 4 lost finals and a retirement from the national team. And this is where this actually starts to make sense. Because what came next is the proof that this shift was not only up here, but it was also practical in real life for him. 2021 Copa America, the final. Brazil versus, you know it, Argentina. Argentina 1-0-1 against Brazil. Messi had the first international trophy for his country after nearly 20 years of trying to do so. When someone showed Messi footage of this later, he said to the reporter that he had to hold back tears because this was the best thing that has happened to him in his entire career. Think about that. Not the Ballon d'Ors, not the Champions League title, not the Spanish titles, not anything. None of the 800 goals could compare to this one moment. The most beautiful thing, in his own words, was winning this title with and for his own country. After years of failure, after retirement, and after coming back and trying again. Because it was earned through surrender and not through control. But stay with me, because this is where this gets crazy. The Copa America final and the win was not the end of the story. It was only the setup. Before the 2022 World Cup, Messi said something which I think is one of the most important things a high achiever has ever said to a camera. He said, the Copa America win makes us feel more relaxed. We are calmer, which allows us to work in a different way, to play differently, more relaxed, without anxiety. The best player in the world admitting that he plays better if there's no anxiety that he has to prove something to other people. You could see it in the 2022 Qatar World Cup. Messi was playing differently. He was so much more better than before. He was looser, he was better. He was joyful, relaxed, free. He celebrated the goals like a kid. He smiled constantly. He played with that looseness that you simply can't manufacture. And then the first game of the group stage. He lost 2-1 against Saudi Arabia in the first game. That was the biggest upset in football history ever in a World Cup. A loss like this would have sent old Messi into a spiral. But he didn't spiral. He sat sad, but focused after the loss in the locker room. And he knew that they could come back from this. And he came back. He came back and led Argentina to win every single remaining game of that World Cup. That right there, that's the proof. Peace and passivity are two completely different things that are unrelated. Letting go means to stop letting the fear of how you play football ruin your game. Messi still wanted to win as badly as before. He was just not terrified anymore if he would not win the World Cup. And then the final happened. Argentina versus France. And I genuinely believe it was the greatest football match ever played. Argentina went up with 2-0, only 10 minutes left to play. That's a done deal, you may think. Mbappe from France had something else in mind. He scored 2 goals in 97 seconds to score the equalizer. Overtime, Messi scored again, but also Mbappe on the other side. Then we go to penalties. In the end, Argentina won 4-2 against France. Messi finally did it. And what did he say afterwards? Not, I proved them wrong. Not, I earned this. He said, I really wanted this and I knew God would give it to me. I want you to hear how differently this is from how most guys talk. There is no ego in that sentence. No score settling, none of that. It's just peace and gratitude for who he is, what he was allowed to experience and do. And the belief and trust in the process he went through, all the failure that built him to who he was going to pay off at some point in his life, without him knowing when this is going to be. Now, if you watched my Ronaldo video, you already know where this is going. Because these two men had almost identical careers. Same era, same number of titles and goals, same number of Ballon d'Or winners, same level of dominance just in two different clubs, and the same old conversation, who is better, Messi or Ronaldo. But they ran on completely different fuel. Ronaldo runs on the competition fuel. He drives when he can outscore opponents and is better than them. He gets his energy from being the hardest worker in the room. His body is a project, manufactured through early gym sessions, the perfect routine, and optimizing everything around it. His best performances came under pressure. El Clásicos, Champions League finals, World Cups. He was thriving under pressure. Moments where the whole world doubted him, and he had the chance to respond to this criticism. Messi competed against himself. He rarely engaged with critics. His body was a vehicle for what he wanted to achieve, for his talent, for the raw talent that was within him. And his best performance came from freedom and joy. When the expectations were the lowest, when the pressure was off and he just could be himself. Ronaldo at 41 is still chasing 1,000 career goals and the first World Cup wins. He's still chasing all of that. He can't stop and he won't stop, because stopping means sitting with his past. And as I explained in the last video, Ronaldo has a dirty past he doesn't want to face. Messi at 36 just moved to Inter Miami to the MLS. He has a good time there. He's around smiling with his friends on the pitch. He's not chasing a legacy, he's living one. And this next part is where it matters for you. Ronaldo cried alone when he lost the 2022 World Cup. His teammates were not around, he was walking off the pitch alone. Messi, on the other hand, he was crying because he won, with his teammates surrounding him. That image, the loneliness of hunger versus the connection of peace and enjoying it. That tells you everything where these two paths lead you. So which game are you playing? Are you grinding because of the fear of losing, the fear of not being good enough? Or are you enjoying connecting with people because you genuinely like the game and like to play it, and you know that if you keep doing it long enough, you will get there eventually? Because I think a lot of you guys that watch this have been playing the Ronaldo game, and I'm not saying it's bad. You will get the results, you will get places. Of course, I mean, look at where Ronaldo is in his life. But what it costs you is, it costs you connection, it costs you authenticity, it costs you to being able to enjoy your life. Because if you play the Ronaldo game, you will go through your life and you will achieve everything you set out to do so. And you will not feel a single thing. You will not be able to enjoy it. Messi's game, it costs him too. It took him until 35 to finally get what he wanted. But he was able to enjoy this deeply. He was happy about the win. He was happy about the victory. And he could enjoy it from the deepest of his soul. Okay, let me bring this home. I'm not telling you to settle for something you don't want to. I'm not telling you to go and lower your ambitions and expectations. I'm not saying any of that. Go as hard as you can. What I'm telling you is this. If you're doing all of this because of fear of not being good enough, fear of losing, fear of what other people think, then you playing a game you will never be able to win. Because even if you win, You will just set the next goal, the goalposts keep moving, and you will never be fulfilled or happy with what you just got. Messi showed us what the alternative to this looks like. You have your goal, you put in the hard work over years, and you become okay with not being able to control the output. But you can connect deeply with others, you can enjoy your way there, and in the end, you get it. If you just think that you can raw dog your way through your goal by just poor discipline and fear of losing, then you are completely wrong. I want you to really sit with this, because knowing it and living it are two completely different things. And the tricky thing that most guys stuck on is figuring out how to actually make the switch from knowing it to doing it. And this is where most people get stuck. So now we have seen both sides, Ronaldo's hunger and intensity and Messi's joy and freedom. You've seen what it costs and what it brings you. Two of the greatest ever to do anything, and they're running on completely opposite fuels. You've got the framework now. Now you can look at your own life and ask yourself the question, am I gripping tighter on life because I have a fear of losing something? Or do I enjoy my life? Am I celebrating my wins and moving forward regardlessly without settling for less? That question alone is worth more than most advice you will hear this year. Because once you can see the game you're actually playing, you can manually select another game. The hardest part is choosing peace when your whole body tells you to grip a little bit tighter. That takes practice, and that is another conversation we are going to have in the future. If I managed to help you today, help you see something in your own life, then leave a like, a comment, and a follow, and I see you guys in the next one. Until then, root for your team at the Football World Cup.